Welcome back to the Angus Report. A career in the cattle feeding business isn't for the faint of heart. Ever-changing grain prices, dynamic input costs, shifts in consumer demand, and a fluctuating cattle market make it a challenging business endeavor. It takes a special kind of individual, the kind recognized each year by the Cattle Feeders Hall of Fame.
You know, the cattle feeding industry always has ups and downs. And the strong, the ones that are smart, the ones that utilize all the tools that they have, stay in business and move on. And those are really the same thing that these cattle feeders that we're inducting into the Hall of Fame, that's what they did too. This year there's 2 cattle feeders we induct, and then also we induct an Industry Leadership Award and then a Industry Service Award, which is an employee of one of the feed yards.
My dad started the business after a few years after he got back from World War II, so 1956, somewhere in that area. We started in a little feed yard in Elkhorn, Nebraska, and then expanded to central Nebraska and southwest Kansas. And he gave all of us an opportunity to be in the business. There's got to have a little bit of luck here. I suppose having guts and nerve and know you're going to have your tough times and trying to minimize those and trying to maximize the profitable times.
Well, the first year I bought a few cattle and run them on wheat, and I doubled my money. I thought, man, now that's a good deal. So the next year I bought twice as many. 2 years later I sold them for what I purchased them for. So we just kind of went from there. We've been very involved in the cattle business for a lot of years, and we've helped a lot of people upgrade the cattle, quality of cattle that they run compared to what they used to. There's a tremendous difference in the quality of the cattle today than there was 30 years ago.
We all know over time this is a pretty rough and tough business. We have great runs to the upside, and then we have major equity losses to the downside, and it's not for the faint of heart. To recognize the leaders in our industry, particularly the people, the pioneers in the cattle feeding industry that have really paved the way through the years for the advancement of our industry as we move down the road.
Well, I started in the feed yards in 1970 down at Ulysses, Kansas. In 1975, I moved to Garden City, Kansas, and I've been there ever since because I love what I'm doing. You know, it's a challenging and also rewarding job, so you know, it's been fun.
There are 3 things that I think these individuals all have in common. They like to work hard. They're very visionary in what they do and the outlook that they have, and they have an extremely high set of ethics in the way that they conduct business. And that's something all of us can learn from.
Visit cattlefeeders.org to learn more about the Cattle Feeders Hall of Fame. We'll be right back with the Angus Report after this.
Me and my wife calve out about 200 head of first calf heifers every year. We've used Cattle Active for 3 years. Our protocol is when we have a calf that is born, gets treated with 5 cc's when they hit the ground. To keep the stress down is why we use it, and otherwise they convert their feed better, and anytime they're converting their feed better, you're going to get a better breed back. I'm Jeff Gray, and I use Cattle Active.
Tehama Angus Ranch is steeped in more than 70 years of quality Angus cattle. Now's your chance to let Tehama Genetics work for you, selling 140 spring and fall yearlings at our 42nd annual Generations of Performance Bull Sale, featuring ranch-raised bulls developed on a high roughage ration with lots of room to move, bred for calving ease and performance, backed by decades of data and maternal selection. Join us Friday, September 9th in Gerber, California. Bid online at liveauctions.tv.
Horn flies cost cattle producers nearly $1 billion a year. They interrupt grazing, cause loss of blood, and impact your bottom line. By incorporating Alticid IGR into your supplement program, you can prevent the emergence of adult horn flies. Alticid IGR will significantly reduce stress on your cattle. For pennies a day, you can control the most costly parasite and increase your profitability. Contact your feed supplier to incorporate Alticid IGR today.
Looking to grow your business? The Angus Convention is coming to Indianapolis, November 5th through the 7th, with one of the nation's largest cattle industry trade shows attracting leading, quality-oriented producers from across the country. This is the place to expand your brand. Booth spaces are filling up fast. Visit angusconvention.com to reserve your spot at the Angus Convention, November 5th through the 7th in Indianapolis.